Hey, anytime they switch, there's a slip. Vando already scored these first 2 points of the night. So you get a guy like Vando getting some buckets offensively. Imagine how much energy he's going to give you defensively on the other side. So if you got a chance to give Vanderbilt the ball and get him some buckets, do so. Because he's going to take that energy he got from offense and bring it tenfold on defense. And Austin Reeves, bro. Another one of them games. Austin Reeves going crazy. Austin Reeves about to get paid too. Mind you, Austin Reeves about to get paid. And he has that feel for the game that allows him to be able to draw free throws. A lot of people think it's something that's super easy. And it's just like, oh, do this, do that. But you have to develop a unique feel for the game and really study it and practice it for you to actually be able to draw fouls. And Austin Reeves, he's got that. Now that he's got enough reps in. Filthy, bro. Filthy, bro. Hey, this is not another Austin Reeves breakdown. He just got some good buckets. He got some good buckets, all right? So, boom. He's got Devin Book coming over, chasing over the top. But a lot of players like to catch this right here. And even though their defender may be late chasing them, they still try to stay up here, pause for a second. But that gives your defender enough time to get back in front and close off this lane. So, boom. You see Austin Reeves comes up high from this handoff, right? For a second. And as soon as he catch it, he still goes into this curl. Because D-Book is still late, and he's going to still attack this gap while it's still available. So, boom. Now he's getting downhill. Lando's still not sure if he's committing what he's doing exactly. Boom. Austin Reeves gets to a stop. And what's hardest for bigs to do? Stop and change direction. So, boom. He has that spin. Lando has to change direction to get that contest. Gets the soft touch. Gets the bounce in. Hey, Vando. That's that agility right there on that play. I want you to notice how much he's chasing. And then for him to end up still get the steal. Book. Chase Book over. Boom. Goes to Landale thinking he may have to switch right there. Then boom. Gets to that pass right before he can get the book. That's agility right there. That's agility right there. It's the simple things. I say this a lot. You've got to be able to, especially as a guard, be able to pass with both hands. And you don't have to be able to do crazy passes with your offhand. You just have to be able to do the things you need to do, like a swing pass or just a pass going to the same side instead of bringing it over to that other hand. In a situation like this, say D-Book is not able to throw this pass with his left hand, right? He has to go to his right hand. That lane, that angle to get that ball to CP is closer to Vanderbilt because literally, think of the line. Boom. Here to CP, throws us with the right, has to come a little closer. And with a player like Vanderbilt, right there in that lane, in that area, it's going to be tough to get that pass through. So now, since he's able to throw that with the left, he's able to throw that pass in stride and be able to get that ball out to CP before Vanderbilt is even able to find a way to time being able to get that steal. So boom, all because he's able to throw that pass with his left hand. Being able to pass with your left hand will bail you out of a lot of situations that could go bad. And by the way, I live stream all my breakdowns. So if you want to see these videos a day or two early or got any questions for me, want me to watch your film, make sure you go hit that link in the description, go follow, and also subscribe, like, and turn on notifications. Let's get right back to it. Now, Landry Shamet. Hey, I ain't gonna lie. Landry Shamet, he could shoot the shit out of the ball. But the one thing that I've seen that he does ever since he's gotten into the league is just his pace. He just be playing so fast. He be knocking shots down. Don't get it twisted. But all his mistakes come off of just playing too fast. Like, you'll see him catch, and then he just goes, and then you can just tell a player's out of control. Like a play like this, throwing this pass, like he's not even thinking. He's going so fast he can't even really process and control himself. That's why I say when you attack as fast as you could be able to stay controlled, and you can be able to make reads. Because if not, you're going too fast, shit like this is going to happen. Wyndon Gabriel gets a perimeter steal, and then boom, now he looking like a guard right there. In situations just like that, bigs is why you got to get a floater. It's why you got to get a floater. Because do you really want to be able to get yourself in this spot right here and have to go straight up against another player who could be, I don't know, 220, 230, 240, going straight up in the air, 6'10, 6'8. Do you really want to go through that? And on top of that, this allows you to be able to do a pick and roll and short roll, boom, float, instead of having to get yourself right here with the player underneath the rim, ready to contest and block your shot, and have to go through them. You could just float, boom, over the top. Even though you're a big man yourself too, it's called big man killer for a reason. You're still gonna be killing other bigs with it. Once again, he's going mad fast. Like, I don't get the purpose of putting your defender in jail if you're not gonna utilize it. It's like he did something that he did in a workout for a split second, and then he just bailed out. He just said, forget it. He just stopped, didn't make any reads, and just kicked the ball right out. Like, what's the purpose? It's like he just did a drill and then you got scared. But if he really did slow down, allowed himself to read the floor, he had realized that Landale's still rolling. He could hold this position right here because Hachimura is not committing. And then you take 2 more steps in, and then you allow yourself to wait and see, is Gabriel going to commit to me, or is he going to commit to Landale? Because if he commits to Landale, I have my float. But if he commits to me, I can still go up like I'm floating. He's going to make a late jump, and I drop it off to Landale. You just got to be patient. You just got to slow down. You got to slow down. Hey, I don't... Hold on. Wait. They was going crazy. They thought Cam Payne got dropped. He got hit with a screen. He got hit with a screen. Anytime Austin Reaves do something, you hear oohs and ahs from Crypto.com arena. I can't even say Staples Center anymore. You hear these LA fans go crazy. Peep it. Peep. And Mike Breen went crazy too. Listen. Listen. Payne on his knees like it was pregame chapel, bro. He got knocked with the screen. That was a nice lay, though. But for this entire arena to go crazy like that is insane. That's insane.
But you can see him playing more and more, right? Just because he started off as a defender and a great competitor.
That's the pace. That's pace. That's good pace. You see, that's pace. Boom, that's pace. Now, take that same pace, ability to control yourself, and apply the same thing when you get the ball in your hands. Because just like being off the ball, defenders will go at your pace. They'll go at your pace. As long as you stay controlled, they go at your pace. That's tough. That's ridiculous, bro. That is ridiculous, bro. That's so embarrassing. And that was the only burn he got all game. That's tough. Gang, that's tough. Gang, that's tough. In LA. Damn, and the ball hit you back in your face. Damn, that's tough. That's tough. But boom, let's go back to Beasley though. Let's go back to Beasley. Peep this. So, anytime you come off the screen, you see a hard hedge, right? You see a hard hedge. Anytime you show that ball up, they're gonna jump. They're gonna jump because they're overreactive. And especially if they're showing, they know that pass you're gonna throw is gonna be a lob pass. So what pass do you throw instead? Pocket pass. Nice, swift, and patient. Because allow them to open up, and then you throw that pass right there in that gap, and you're gonna see Braun talk to him about the same play right here. You see Braun talk to him. Then Pete Braun. Boom, right there. Boom. Same situation. Braun do the same thing every time. You see him come off that screen going to his left. Boom. Literally right there. If they're showing, throws that pocket pass right there. And that's the same way that Beasley had that turnover just then. Hey, let's watch this playback again. Let's watch this playback. Really watch Booker in the help. You see, this is the situation that a lot of high school players get into. And I even have some people ask me questions as to why they end up turning the ball over when they're driving against defense. It's because you get in a situation like this, where you see the help stacked up. There's no gaps to attack, right? But I don't know. If you think you're the Flash and you're just going to be able to, boom, blow by somebody. But basketball doesn't work like that. You just don't blow by people, especially if you're playing at your own, like playing with people around your level. That's not that easy. So you'll get into a situation like this. You'll see help. Instead of making this pass right here, you'll take one more dribble, thinking that, okay, maybe I can get through, and then I'll see once I get there. But you can't do it once you get there, because if you try to wait till you get there, they're going to strip that ball right out your hands. Whether it's going to be on your dribble while the dribbles come back up, or you're trying to make that pass, it's going to end up not in a way you would like. You'll not score it, nor would your teammate be able to get an open shot. So literally take one dribble less. You see the help stacked up, make the simple play. Don't overcomplicate it. Don't do too much. Make the simple play, get that ball out.
Craig from the corner got it. Wilt. Got to shoot high, Mark. Here's Booker.
That's a mean dribble pull-up. That's a mean dribble pull-up. But the key to that was the pace, one, and the quickness of those last two steps of that 1-2. Peep it.
Got to shoot high, Mark.
Boom, that little skip to slow down, look off, and notice. Boom, he's taking that first step. And that's when AD's reacting to get back downhill because he thinks he's attacking the rim. But boom, 1-2. AD's still going downhill. He gets that quick 1-2. That's tough. You can't guard that.
Another mid-range shot.
Can't really guard that. Nor could you even read it or anticipate it.
Davis downhill.
That's what happens when you don't see contact when you attack the rim. Notice, he just jumps to space instead of jumping and hitting the body. Biyombo blocks that John right off the glass.
The Suns have numbers coming back the other way.
Then boom, Troy Brown steal. I was like, damn, Troy Brown got a steal. The hell, Troy Brown? That shit made me stand up for a second. I was like, when I first watched it, I stood up for a second. I was like, God damn, Troy Brown out here banging like that. Like, I know league players could dunk, but this situation right here is still a tough play to go out and actually dunk. That's tough. That's tough as hell to dunk. Nobody expected it.
Healthy and whole. They can score. They got size and Maestro and Mike Conley. Yes.
Hey, you've seen Austin Reeves get so many fouls off of these little pivot situations, making these pivots, turning back, pump faking. And you see a ton of players do it as well. It's because the more you use these fakes, the more the defender wants to bite. Because defenders get super antsy in these situations. They shouldn't. They should just wall up. But they get super antsy and they always want to make a play on the ball. They always want to steal, get a steal. They always try to step up into you. And the second that they do, try to maybe even go for a block even, boom, that's when you draw your foul.
That's settled.
And boom.
If I'm Bismarck,
Vanderbilt caused what? I believe 3 moving screens last night. I believe he caused 3. And the reason being is that if you try to get stagnant and literally just die on the screen, you give yourself no chance. Whereas players like Vanderbilt, these good defenders, they fight to get past or fight to get through all of these screens. So the more movement that you have, the more likely that you're moving, the harder it is to find you as a screener. Since you're moving more, it's a harder target to find. So if you're sitting there and not trying to get through or get past screens, just making it tougher for yourself. Just making it much tougher for yourself.
little bail. Davis on the catch out on the three-point line. 5 on the clock.
Now in this third, I believe AD had what, 14 or something? And AD hitting shots like this. If AD's hitting these shots,
5 on the clock.
AD's AD.
Fires.
And he can't let up either. He can't let up. Like, especially with these games coming up to end the season off, he can't let up. There's no games that you should be able to, like, oh, I'm going to take this night off. He can't. He just can't. Because if you do, it clearly be a difference by one game if you end up having a postseason or not.
This time it's going to be.
Just one game.
You can tell. I mean, it's
Knocked down 3 from Payne. And godly, this is a terrible sequence.
he's had. Oh, not just Booker, but all
Lakers went crazy this third quarter. But then to have a play like this to end off the quarter, this hurts you. This hurts you. You done had a whole run, but you don't want to throw it away at the last second and then go into that next quarter with hanging your heads because you just had a couple bad plays and you just forget about all the things you just did throughout that entire quarter. Meaning all I have to say, make sure you finish quarters out strong. You don't get lackadaisical. You don't get lazy. Finish them out strong. Continue that run that you was having.
Lakers 1 spot out of the play-in tournament. Phoenix Suns, meanwhile, the number 4 seed
That's
in the West.
a great setup. Typical backdoor setup, right? Backdoor setup.
Lakers
But I don't even want to talk about this setup alone.
Phoenix Suns
I don't even want to talk about this setup. I want to talk about all setups. Basically, anything you do in basketball should have a setup, some sort of setup, especially on offense. You name it, it should have a setup. ISO setup, catch the ball, initiate offense setup. Anything, name anything you want. It should have some sort of setup. And if you're just trying to boom into things super quick, it's going to make you even easier to guard because setups allow you to be able to maneuver around your counters. A setup like this where you see Reeves kind of approaching quick, like slow down a little bit to walk, and then boom, he hits that back door. It allows him to be able to, one, go up into that handoff if he wants, or two, get into that back door. Whereas if you have no setup, you're just leading yourself one way, just trying to do one thing. So now you won't be able to make any counters to anything. So make sure you set up anything you get the chance to set up. Every time. He already knows when the contact's gonna occur. Once again, bro. All these fouls though, mind you, all these fouls are gonna come with some fall damage, right? He gonna hit the floor a lot of times. Hit the floor a lot. So now boom. Notice he just straight up just jumps into Biyombo. Before he even tries to go up and put that ball up, he jumps into Biyombo. Because now Biyombo's jumping A to B. He hits Biyombo, then he gets that ball up. Hey, I ain't gonna lie. I was peeping Biyombo last night, though. I was peeping Biyombo. And I ain't gonna lie. Biyombo be bringing an energy that Ayton do not be bringing. He be bringing energy. So at times, Biyombo could be a good fill-in depending on the matchups and whatnot. Because the amount of energy Biyombo has on the glass, getting blocking shots, Ayton just isn't as energized as Biyombo is. So at times, I feel like he could be a good sub-in for Biyombo depending on the night and on the matchup. Especially if you got KD as well. Hey, peep T. Ross. Peep out T. Ross was lost. Peep out T. Ross was lost on this closeout. Notice that. You seen that? How he went boom straight, then he had to go up? It's because just D'Lo relocated. It's kind of natural to relocate, especially in a situation like this. You want to keep yourself visible. So, but now, as soon as Terrence Ross wants to go back to go and close out, he's going to go to where he thinks D'Lo was instead of where D'Lo actually is because he relocated. So he's going to take his first few steps off of his instinct of what he knew before, going to where he knew D'Lo was before. But since he relocated, he's taking these steps towards this corner where he thought he was, or where he was at first, and then he has to go up. And that's what allows him to just have a clean look, no hand. Whereas if he was just in that same spot, T-Ross probably wouldn't have been able to get there, and then he would have had to run him off the line.
And the Suns have numbers.
Too fast, just too fast, just too fast. His shot be knocked down. I'm telling you, you seen him shoot, shot knockdown. But if he gets that pace, he could actually be a consistent role player. But I feel his pace just be too fast. He just be going way too fast all the time, bro. It's ridiculous. So he begins to control his pace. He's gonna be a solid role player. Hey, I want you to peep AD, peep AD, peep AD. Peep his hands. Now you don't see many bigs do that right there. You see how we dropped that hand to get that to cover that pocket pass? It looks like it's just something super simple and basic or whatnot, but when you're super tired as a big, being like 7 foot, you're super tired. You have to get a little lower and be able to get a hand down there. Not a lot of bigs do that. Not a lot of bigs do that at all, because on top of the fact they're not used to actually getting lower, because bigs usually just play vertical. They play very high, unlike guards who kind of have to have a base in a lot of things they do. They're just tired as well, so they do not want to reach down there. They don't. So you got a player like AD, although he gets injured a shit ton, he has good mobility and his agility is really good. So boom, he's able to actually get down like this for a split second for some time being. And then he's able to go and show and discourage that pocket pass. And boom, nothing crazy happened. Just keep it pushing. That's a great double by Shaman. That's great timing by Shaman. That's a great timing by Shaman. This is the type of time you want to have when you're playing that full court press. Notice, as soon as that player turns their back, you probably already know this, but I just want to really show you once again what they actually mean in case you don't know exactly what they mean. They begin to turn their back. That's when you go. You got to anticipate it, because if you try to wait until, boom, they turn their back and they get back squared, then you go, you can't. They already see you at that point. Then there's going to get the ball up. But you gotta anticipate this. Notice how Shamit's already going. Before he even starts to turn, he already senses that D'Lo's about to turn his back right here. Boom, he's going. As soon as he turns, boom, he can't do nothing about it. Can't do nothing about it. Call a jump ball. Shamit won that jump ball as well. Hey, that's very Luka-esque. Like, he just began. Like, it's just selling it, bro. Like, he could play through it. Like, he could just kind of stay calm, but like, he kind of sells a little bit. They have to call a foul. And also, if you start with full court presses offensively, this right here, peep this. Right there, super simple. You see a player coming over on the double team, and you end up picking that ball up. Just give one ball fake. They're probably gonna end up jumping for that ball. Promise. Because they're trying to force you into the air. They're trying to get out on any ball that they possibly can. So you show that ball, boom, pass fake, boom, they get in the air, buys you more time to be able to get that pass off and get it to your teammate. It's something super basic. Literally now he's throwing that ball as the defender's on their way down. They just have no chance of being able to steal that. Sees the opportunity to go. Already took enough time off the shot clock. 8 seconds left. Boom, throws it up to Vanderbilt. Gets the 2. And that's game time.